One of the great destroyers of the natural environment over the years has been the building of dams, like Aswan and the Three Gorges Dam of China for hydroelectric power. It's a destroyer because it, in one stroke, changes the ecology of the entire area.
The dam is going to be here
I'll
first.
Explain you.
Okay, please.
Okay, this is actually, this project is based on, ours is a hydropower project, and this is almost 300 megawatt, okay, capacity. So this is our dam site, a place called Linga, okay. From dam, we'll be diverting water, it will be taken to powerhouse, and 300 megawatt of electricity will be generated.
We need power. All those rivers are flowing and we have not been able to make use of them. But we wanted to harness those natural endowments given by nature and generate power.
The people of India, they suffer a lot of power cuts in summer months. So then it becomes an issue, saying we need more power, people are suffering, there's heat, the industries are not functioning. So then we have another next group of people saying, no, we have to generate electricity. Now the coal reserves are dwindling, and even this nuclear power is minimal because we just met a lot of experts who said, so they've then identified, it's a short-term thing for those people who are directly affected by power cuts. So they emphasize that, okay, the hydro projects is one option to reduce the suffering of those people who have to undergo these power cuts.
Total capacity of India to generate hydroelectricity is somewhere around 70,000 megawatt. We as Indian, we don't have sufficient fuel. We have to import fuel. So hydropower, why India is stressing on hydropower means the fuel consumption is minimum, and then production of electricity by our own natural resources will be much more cheaper in terms of industrialization, in terms of production. So that is the vision.
It is a private developers, government and private developers combined into one. They are carrying on this in power projects.
This time we are getting funds from the government of India. Maybe government of India one day they might have stopped this giving money to the Sikkim government. At that time, what we will do? If we don't have money, how we will develop our state?
We are from this place. If this project was not here, we would have been hovering somewhere else for a job. The project has come to our place, and it is good that we are now working.
Jongu
This land is from the Himalayas. Especially Jongu. Kanchenjunga is in the border of Nepal and Sikkim, today's Nepal and Sikkim's border. The Tibetan came, they name it something based on the Lepcha, the main word, Jongu. Then came the Hindus, they said Kanchenjunga, and then the British came Kinchinjunga, something like that, you produce that sound. So Jongu is our deity. Lepcha's origin started from this mountain. We have this, our ancestor, the first man and woman, Pudongting and Nzongni. The god created them from Jongu. So this mountain downwards to Tithalia, that is our land. The Lepcha country, the name, the original name was is to us, to me, is still Ne Mayal Renjong Liang, the ladies and gentlemen who live in this holy, eternal, hidden land. We have no history of migration. If you talk about Tibetans, they have their country in Tibet. Bhutias always can go to Tibet, yes? Nepalis, they have Nepal, they can always go to Nepal. Americans, you can go to America, yes? Bengalis, they can go down to the plains of India. Biharis, they can go to Bihar. Rajasthani, they can go to Rajasthan, the Kayas. Bhutanis can go to Bhutan. Where do the Lepchas go? This is our land.
Lepcha were the first people of Sikkim.
Sure.
The Bhutia, they have come from Bhutan and from Tibet.
Go.
The Nepalese, they have come from Nepal. We are the original one.
Some Lepcha are Christian, some Lepcha are Buddhist, some Lepcha are Buddhist and Bungting, some Lepcha are only following the Bungtingism, Munism, which is kind of animist.
She's a female, Lepcha priestess.
Wow.
We call her as Mun. And male priests are all called as Bongting.
What are they going to be praying for?
Now they are going to pray ritually to appease Mount Kanchenjunga, the guardian deities of Mount Kanchenjunga. And Kanchenjunga Vishal is the guardian deity of people of Sikkim.
This puja, actually, is called Apong Lepcha, and it indicates the unity, between Bhutia and Lepcha community.
Basically, I'm a nature worshipper. I know why I'm a nature worshipper, because we know, Lepchas know that nature will give us. This river is one of the most holiest river of the Lepchas. When I die, my soul will be taken through this Rongjong river to where our ancestors waiting.
In Sikkim, we, the Lepchas, we are the original indigenous people of this land. But we are a minority now. We are just less than 7% of the total state population. And that also we are scattered all over.
Lepchas are vanishing tribe. They are very few in numbers.
99.9% of the Lepchas live in remote villages. That you must understand.
Out of them, less than 50% speak their own language, and even less read and write their own language.
People do not know our language. We have such rich and ancient language, but others are not interested. They want us to learn Nepali or Hindi or English or other languages, but they will always discourage us to speak. They will not learn Lepcha language. So when we have no communication, the other communities, they do not know about Lepchas.
We have sacrificed a lot. We have given our land. We have given our rights, political rights. Even the language that we speak here in Sikkim, we have to speak Nepali. I'm speaking today in the front camera in English, in my own place, and these are a sacrifice. These are sacrifice because I can't speak, and I have to speak English to communicate to you guys, and I had to speak in my own land in other languages.
Look at this book, Sikkim Studies Series, Culture Part 1 Volume 3 by M.M. Gurung and R.P. Lama. They are not Sikkimese. I don't know where are they from. They are not Sikkimese. And they are writing our history. Jongu is a sacred place for Lepchas, like Jerusalem for Christians and Mecca for Muslims. Okay, and Jongu is a sacred place for Lepchas.
This place, Jongu, is a place that has been actually preserved, protected for the Lepchas, for the Lepcha people. In that place, there are now 7,000 Lepchas. About 7,000 Lepchas as per the latest census. The majority of the 7,000 Lepchas are illiterate. They're just farmers.
Jongu is one of the last areas where the actual indigenous culture is still preserved. And this is what they want to maintain.
Jongu is our holy land, our sacred land. I'm not telling just like that, all right? Because the first Lepcha man Fudong Thing and first Lepcha woman Nuzong knew were created by God, and they were set in Jongu.
Jongu is the source of our civilization. No matter where we are today, I'm in Gangtok, other Lepchas in Delhi, some maybe all over the country, world, no? But it doesn't mean that you are different from that. We pay, like everything relates back to Jongu, the very civilization from where we have originated.
It's one of the most fragile and rich environmental areas in the Himalayas.
The Jongu remains, it's the last bastion of our Lepchas.
We are not in India, we are not in Sikkim, we are in Jongu. We want our autonomous region. Do you know what is autonomous? We want our own land. That's been phase to Kanchenjunga, this way, nature worship. So, and we're coming down, we are doing the puja of Kanchenjunga. They'll be for the peace. This ritual walk, I'm sure the dam will be stopped, so there'll be peace and always be protected by this, so that there will be no harm will be happen to the Lepcha community.
There's a law passed by our 9th ruler, Chugyal Sikyo Namgyal, that people living outside Jongu cannot go and settle down in Jongu.
The project which are going on in Jongu, that is also a violation of Article 371F.
When Sikkim was taken over by India, they redrafted the Indian Constitution, and it is inserted Article 371, under which says that whatever the old laws were there in Sikkim, right from the first Chogyal till the takeover time, that will remain as it is.
Within that Article 371F, there are provisions which protects the Sikkim and Sikkimese people, which protects our culture, which protects our traditions, which protects our old laws.
Now, how the government of Sikkim is allowing Indian companies to move in there? That is against the Constitution of India, Article 371. And government of India is keeping quiet.
What is available in Sikkim? Water, plenty of it. So energy from water. That's the main point, and I think that's probably why Sikkim has been annexed by India 30 years ago.
We have got Sikkim as a state whole. We have got a capacity to generate 5,000 megawatt.
Which could probably fuel all of Delhi.
Yeah.
White gold is something what you call black gold is oil. This is white gold. I mean, right now it's hydropower. India needs the electricity. So that's where the money lies, you know.
In Jongu, they are trying to build 6 mega hydroelectric projects.
At the same time, there will be a handful of people who will be always be opposing. Those elements were there in that project also. But slowly, they also came to know that, okay,
Yeah.
There's no
So
point arguing
they
the
will
things.
come to know that.
So they will also get streamlined. Actually.
What potential we have in Sikkim, how to use that, the water potential, that they don't know, but slowly they will come to know.
Actually, I was already into it much before 2005 when we met. Once they start work, which is going to take 5 to 6 years, because they plan to finish it by 2009, 10, 11, 12. Within that time, we will be just, scattered. As we crossed 2005, it became more evident that all these big projects would happen, and the government had already made papers, and they were already bringing in the companies.
We followed Mahatma Gandhi's path, so therefore our demonstrations in the form of rallies. Today's Jongu is holy to us. Today they are trying to build this huge mega dams and destroy our holy land. Can you endure it? We know, the lecturers know, they do not know. The government do not know, the profit-making companies do not know. The whole Lepcha, whether he is in Kalimpong, or whether he's in Darjeeling, or Kurseong, or Ilang, or West Bhutan, or Sikkim, we know that it is our holy land.
They want to build a dam in Jongu. They want to kill us. By killing us, they want to take revenue. The revenue that will survive to the Indian people.
The country of India first makes the most money. Second is the hydro developers. The third, state of Sikkim, and I doubt if money would actually filter down to the rest of Sikkim.
The project that I'm talking about in Jongu, Panang 280 megawatt project, is being financed by an American company. So the money will go to your place. It will not come to me or my people. Himagiri, the company that's going to execute the works, is the front company of a company called Nagarjuna Construction Company. And Nagarjuna Construction Company has taken the money from this American funding agency or whatever company. So that's where the money goes. Poor Lepchas in Jongu, they'll be left with few whiskey bottles, that's all.
After the construction of this power project, the government of Sikkim will get 12% equity share in this company.
Just 12% is just too little for Sikkim to be making, And at the end of it, the indigenous people here, and generally most of the people here, they are we're going to suffer in the long run, So once the rivers dry up, and it's just too much. It's all very labor intensive, so it's just too much activity happening around. We're not ready for. It's a very fragile environment around here. It's very, very fragile. So we're gonna have major repercussions,
Sikkim Power Development Corporation, that is a government of Sikkim, they are buying land on our behalf. Actually, this land we are buying in terms of lease from SPDC for 35 years of power generation. After that, then there are a lot of terms and agreement, which is, I think, beyond my level to speak. So that land directly or indirectly might go back to the owner.
But that's what the memorandums signed with the companies say. For 30 years or 35 years, the companies would actually build it, operate it, then transfer it to the government of Sikkim. But government of Sikkim really doesn't have the technical expertise and the manpower to run these projects after that. So if we really can't run it, then it's a liability.
In the larger interest of the people of Sikkim, these works are being carried out.
That is what the government says: national interests, states' interests, the interests of the larger, the larger interests of the people. So in that we are being, messed up.
This river is not giving even a single penny to this state. Why we don't use this potential?
They are very much interested in making money. They think the present leaders, so-called leaders or the present administrators and politicians, they run after money like mad.
They are after money. They are not thinking about the Lepcha sentiments, the Lepcha holy place, Jongu or Fokram Takram. They are only thinking about how to make money, how to get rich, how to buy palace, how to buy Royal Royce, probably, Jaguar.
They have to generate power and sell to the other state, get money and spend for the development of roads and infrastructure.
I feel that money is not everything, no? Like displacing one people's place, and that is not a development. They are saying, no, this project will bring you a development. Development for whom? Economic for whom?
Of course, we are not opposing other form of development. We believe people have to develop. Education is very essential. Healthcare, sanitation, everything is very important aspect, because we don't expect people in the village to suffer. But it's just that when this form of development, which is so destructive, that's what we are opposing.
At least stop some of the projects, keep a gap of some years, so that our people are able to stand up to it and then handle all the whatever it comes with it. Otherwise, right now, no one is ready.
In this so-called modern democracy, numbers and money matter. And on both counts, we lose out.
Minorities will have to fight for their own safeguards. There's no other way.
We want to show to the world that there can be hydroelectricity generation without disturbing the, demography of the place, without disturbing the ecology of the place, without disturbing the biodiversity of the region.
So that's when we thought that we have to do something more than just sit around and say a few things like that. We thought we would protest in this way because it is something which our country, India, is connected with.
Like I want to fight. Like right now, like we all are doing satyagraha. We all are doing a non-violence type of this thing.
But these young people from Jongu area, they don't listen to us. They are on strike.
Carrying on this movement for last 5 years. Just last 1.5 years only they came to do the hunger strike over here.
We have seen both advantage and disadvantage regarding the project, and we have got more disadvantage, so we are just fighting for the land.
It is not that we don't want development, we don't want to go forward, whatever. It's just that we are saying that our people are not exactly ready for this kind of all of a sudden a burst of development activities, which is beyond the carrying capacity of the Lepchas in that place and the ecology of that place.
They respect the Indian Constitution. They honor the Mahatma Gandhi's way of life. They honor the Guru Rinpoche's teachings, because they don't want the world to be in a problem or in a trouble, turmoil that they don't want. So that's why they are on a hunger strike.
Sometimes she stays for 48 hours, sometimes 24 hours. So in that way you add, and then it becomes 10, 15, 20 days.
So that I should feel the pain, no? So that I can fight. I should feel the pain, and I'll be strong enough to fight back the movement.
The hunger strike gives you power, gives you strength. Why?
Because we are fighting for the land.
Just now, 2 girls from yesterday, they are still continuing. They will continue till 12:30. Kachit and Princey here.
Are you hungry?
Yeah, a little bit. Little bit.
Oh, oi. Oi, त्यस्तो बन्दैन के भन्नु चुप लिदा हक गोलिस लिले हक गोलिस
What will happen when you stop fasting? Will someone else start fasting?
Yeah, someone will take a turn.
How long will this go on?
This fasting.
Sure.
Yeah, as long as our wish are not fulfilled.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, you have to come back to your roots. This is what I feel.
It has been more than 400 days today.
मैं आज यहाँ पर जो पाल देने के लिए जो चेंज करने जो हमारा रिले चल रहा है, इसलिए मैं इसमें जो ट्रन देने के लिए जो बाद में मेरे पीछे भी और आएगा मेरे दोस्त लोग, और मैं जाऊंगा और दूसरा आएगा, फिर यहाँ का हम पूरा सामने 451 डेज का अंदर में आगे भी हम लोग यहाँ पर आए हैं, इसीलिए तो यहाँ से भी और उधर भी जाने और हमारा प्रोग्राम और भी है, यहाँ से भी ज़्यादा हम जा सकते हैं उधर. हम वी आर गोइंग टू 451 days
ready to go.
Ready to go.
453 days are going on for my motherland.
Jongu lai के भन्छ लेप्चा प्लेसलाई प्रोटेक्ट गर्नु लागि.
How many more days are we going to go on with this?
We are not sure about that. Maybe we are sure.
Until and unless or like
demand are not fulfilled, we'll stay here.
We will be fighting like this till the government gets scrap all the right process of Jongu.
We have almost stayed here for 447 days. And how do we feel for our people, for the Lepcha community?
It's day 4-5.
Primary aim of all this is to get our voices heard and get some response from the government, and to stop the whatever weird projects that we want to be stopped.
All the odds are against them. They're sitting here in the capital. It's a disgrace to every Sikkimese, I think, all of us,
The first time around, the Chief Minister of the state, he made a public appeal telling us to withdraw, and then he will immediately come up with a solution. We waited for another, how many months now? 5 or 6 months.
It was a very peaceful march. You've seen the documentary. But unfortunately, again, the establishment, they caused trouble. Ultimately, again, they locked me up.
I just opposed, like, we don't want like such projects. Then suddenly the cops came and they arrested me for the whole day.
We're all involved there to protest.
You reach a stage, no, it doesn't matter. Why not? Why not behind the bars, You have nothing to lose. I haven't done anything wrong.
I went on hunger strike for the sake of my land, my people, our land, our people, for the for the environment, for my children, for 63 days, the first phase, and 96 days in the second phase.
From one point of view, like, it was quite difficult. Whatever like we were doing, like, you know, like we were doing for a genuine cause, not only for us, but mostly for like coming generation. That is for like protection of land.
Day 5 is more difficult than day 50 because you have just stopped eating, so your stomach is not used to that. After that, you're totally acclimatized actually, and then, well, of course, after day 5, after day 10, you become more weaker. You feel more weaker day by day actually. Since nothing was coming on, we started the hunger strike again. We had a 2 days rally in the town here. People from Jongu, the students and other members, we had a 2 days rally, and then on the second day we again sat down for the second phase of the indefinite hunger strike.
Can you see this movement going violent?
You see, anybody, after some time, desperation creeps in, and then you can't win. Now I am beginning to understand why things happen the way they do. It's 1.5 years, you know, just looking at the people also, I can see the change.
We are threatened and terrorized in our own homeland. Where should we go now? No place. The only alternative will be later on, I'll not say, but my son may pick up arms, who knows?
If US is ready to supply the material, then we are ready for that, to start a revolution in Sikkim.
What were you accused of?
Beating the employee of the hydroelectric project, beating the employee of company.
I want to continue this activity.
Was it a common laborer or was it an engineer?
Not engineer, common laborer, but they are not from people of Sikkim. They want to arrest more youth who are involved in those things. They don't want anybody to, to rise that movement. That company will go underground. They are doing whatever necessary thing was. So when we got to know that and we attacked them, it got stopped. They didn't do anymore.
When a man gets prostrated, then the violence begins.
You put in a corner, no, what can you do? Only choice is hit back when you're being hit, no? Even if it's just simple reflex action.
What is happening in Palestine? What is happening in Jerusalem? We are seeing with our naked eyes. We too have feeling like them.
Taking up any other violent mean of protest really doesn't, in the end, it doesn't really always gives a good result. So that is what we saw also. And the third thing is, I think, we are just so few of us. What will we do by taking up any other means of protest? was after 42nd day that we were put on the Riles tube. That's what they call it. Yeah, that's what, because we were really, really delirious. Till that time we were on, saline. They had taken us down to the hospital. We were on saline, but soon it was found that the saline is not doing the work. So they need something more than saline.
Saline wasn't keeping you alive.
It was failing gradually, which means we were like going down fast. So that's the indication that we might die. They put it through the nose because we are refusing everything orally. So they put it through the nose. It goes right down the throat to the stomach.
It was very painful. like doctor said, like he's going to insert the pipe, what we call a Riles tube. They insert the thing inside our nose. Then it's quite painful out here. Then the pain, and then it sips down. Then they'll put the thing and the pain. There's pain in our throat, and it was quite painful.
That tube makes you half sick, and because, well, the tubes are meant to be used on unconscious people, but we are very much conscious at that point of time. So
Dawa and Tenzing doing hunger strike, eating nothing for first 63 days, second 90 days plus, that united the Lepchas. We were living in our own world, but their action led us to unite. We became one.
The land on which we hold ownership today is not mine. It has been inherited.
That land does not belong to my father, does not belong to me. It was the forefathers, the ancestors, our great ancestors. It is well of them, so we have to respect, we have to protect that place.
If my child asks me, Dad, or Father, or Appa, kuisa, fat receiving go, kuisi visa go. If they ask me, where's the land? Where for me? Where for me? Then I will be unable to answer such question. And from that day, I decided that I'll work for the good cause, for my people, for my land, for the future, and for the future coming generation. Then I'll do anything to save my land. I'll die. I'll give my life, but I'll save my land.
At least Lepcha youth realize that there's something called original, there's something called culture and traditions, there's something called environments also. So all these things, I mean, if we look to the issues from the beginning, I think we gain a lot rather than loss, to whether we can scrap the project or not, but we are pretty sure, 101% sure that we will save our God from being smashed.
That would have ruined the Lepcha cultural heritage, Lepcha Holy Land, and debased the Lepcha people.
For more than a year they are on strike, but then the power generation scheme is on. Nobody has been able to stop that.
Some people are saying that we have got nothing, but we have got something. That is the government people, like they have scrapped from 6, they have scrapped now 4 projects. Now only 2 are left. So we had a hope that our demands will be fulfilled soon.
What is Lepcha? So that's my identity.
The very essence of being a human being is his identity, And identity comes from his culture, tradition, his way of life, convention. These are what really identifies a person, So when you lose the very essence of all this, then they take away your right to be an individual, a human being.
We must have a modern way of living also, because it's the 21st century. We have to go with the time.
For the development of Lepcha society, we must have to do this all project, and we must be involved in doing something with the other peoples, and we should have some feelings like a modern people.
You need the right balance between modernization and your own traditional beliefs. The right balance. Because eventually it's your roots that matter. Sure, you have your mobile phones, and why not? And your other paraphernalias. But things that matter, you do not compromise. And you do not bargain. You must have your values right.
I can proudly say that I'm Lepcha, and I have my culture. I have my own way of life. You can see, come see. This is my land. This is my family. It's a kind of holding an ownership,
Fantastic. I thank these 2 young men. We need such young men today in 21st century in computer age. They have done very well. I'm a senior citizen. I'm like their father, and I congratulate them. We need such sons.
What should be the future of such sons?
Future is, you cannot tell the future. No one knows what's going to happen tomorrow. You do not know.
I'm a Lepcha. All that I'm fighting for is for my identity, for my people.
But in a sense, I think the argument has to be made that most places have been home to different populations. Populations have been moving. Their cultures themselves are quite hybridized. So to think of a very homogeneous Lepcha community, not in traffic with other peoples, having a composite, pure, uncontaminated culture is not really a tenable argument.
The Indian nation states project is one that argues that with liberalization and with this privatization, they point to these macroeconomic numbers and say everybody's going to get better at the end of the day, and maybe we'll have certain types of compensations. But I think they argue that you're part of a nation, you're part of a nation state, and you have to have some allegiance to the state. And sometimes, not all the time, and it's not that widespread necessarily, those come into clash, with these particular communities. But we know that every culture changes and every community changes. So I think the government is saying, well, these communities can adapt to new types of realities that India faces. They're part of India after all.
Let's see if we are still around 10 years, 15 years. you will see how I want my people and my land to be developed.
India should be proud that there's so much biodiversity all around, and especially these mountains around. I mean, because all the mountains, the rivers that run through the Himalayas, I mean, these are the rivers that actually feed millions.
The government of India has the sovereign duty to protect the people of the country, in which we Lepchas are part of it. So it becomes the foremost duty as a nation to protect its people, and Sikkim needs to be protected because we are the ears and eyes of the country. We stand here in the border. We have willingly given away our sovereignty to be part of India, so that the great nation of India be protected. But in the process, we believe that the government of India should protect us also, not only by giving us money, but they have to protect us to be able to exist as a human being with our own dignity and honor, like all other Indians.